Hello people, and welcome back to part 12 of Palaven, our vanilla Cities Skylines build. We're all having a wonderful day. And thank you for all the support on last episode. You guys really enjoyed the city recap. We took a nice little detailed tour through all the different areas and then a little cinematic look back as well towards the end. You guys really enjoyed it. So we'll definitely do the city caps. The next one now will be 20, and then obviously we will recap every build from now up until 20 in that episode, and then episodes 21 to 29 will be recapped in episode 30, and so on and so forth. However, in today's episode, we are going to be working on Farmland for the first time in Palaven, and this should be pretty fun indeed. We're really looking forward to getting involved in this. So with the Farmland, very similar to our forestry, it is a renewable resource, and it will continue to be farmed, funnily enough. So the light green spots are representing fertile land, and this means that they are suitable for farming. So as with any industrial area, first thing we want to go and do is use the paint industry tool. And this, we won't be using all this fertile land, we'll probably only use a little bit of it, but we'll make it look good. And one thing I do want to do with this area is actually run overground metro through it, which is something I've never done before. So I guess we'll see how it goes. So we have this station over by the campus, and we want to be running this towards the downtown, which will eventually sit here. So we'll carry it on from this one. So let's bring it down, probably a touch more, about there. And then we'll have one that's going to run through like that. So I'm thinking right up alongside these rails here, we're going to have like the crop fields. And I think that'll give us a really cool kind of aesthetic look. I'm hoping it does anyway, because if it doesn't, this episode might be getting scrapped. And then as we approach the shoreline here, we'll turn it into elevated metro. Apologies for that enormous ding. Let me turn my phone down. Yeah, so we'll turn it into elevated metro as we move into the downtown. But for right now, it's going to stay on the ground whilst it is here. Okay, so let's bring this up with our freeform. That'll give us a nice smooth curve. We also want to plan in another line down here as well. And then I think what we'll do here is we'll cut across the road. I don't want to elevate it and I don't want to sink it. So let's go for... that should be okay. And then we'll have this one... let's just draw it over there for right now. Because we will have some pretty major like industrial infrastructure down that end at some point too. Then we can hook in like that. So we get this little rail crossing generating as well, which looks nice. I think this is going to be kind of suburb out here. Like countryside suburb, you know, when we get around to building this eventually. Because we've got this whole tile to fill out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this mountain. This mountain actually has oil on it, I believe. Yeah, only a very small amount though, so we might do like a micro oil industry, like not even take it up to like level 5, probably leave it at level 2, and just leave it on the hillside as almost like decoration. But we'll see, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here. Let's focus on the farm first. Okay, so we've got the line going through the middle, I'm fairly happy with that. Let's go ahead and draw in a road, so we can place in our farm main building. Now this will move, we're only placing it in, so we can actually have access to some of the other farm areas. Okay, so we've got the farm main building in right now, and this is going to give us access to a crop field, fruit field, animal pasture, and some storage, which is basically what all we need for our initial industry. So I'm going to use the 2-lane gravel road to kind of draw out my initial shapes here. So we want to be placing the crop fields on these green spots here. The crop fields and the fruit fields have to be placed on fertile land. Okay, so let's kind of find a nice midpoint here. I'd probably say about here where the farmhouse is actually should be pretty good. Let's draw out. So we won't leave that connection there. We're just going to use this to place in our small crop field, and we're going to have this right up alongside the rail. Okay, so this right here, this is exactly the kind of thing that I want to generate. I really want to see the metro trains coming past all these crops. I think it'd be really cool once we've kind of got this pattern repeated a couple of times. Okay, so drawing this road out here, I know that the length of one crop field is 180 in cost of a dirt road. So I'll come down and do that again, 180, and then hook in, and then we can place another one right behind it. And then we'll now begin to see that pattern merging. Ah, it's going to look great. I have a very distinctive vision in mind of how I want this to look. And this is exactly it. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we'll take this one away now. No, we won't, because we need him in for access. Let's see, just come ahead and snap to our angle. And then we'll bring it as close as we can. Getting a little further. There we go. And then he will class as connected. So we'll also throw in the same pattern on this side as well. So we'll bring all our snapping back on. Out by 180, and then another 180 again. Come across there. And then boom. So I think what we'll do is now, we'll duplicate this pattern on this side. Exactly the same as we've done it here. And then we'll come back and see what that looks like. Okay, so there we go. That's our little battery of crop fields in here. And I think I'm fairly happy with that, you know. Obviously, there's lots of detailing to be done in this area too. Do be careful if you are planning on doing a lot of tree detailing in your farm area. If you place a tree, it actually removes the fertile land from around it. So if you're going to be placing lots of trees, just be careful that doesn't happen. Otherwise, you can end up actually deleting a lot of your fertile land. So bear in mind, I'm going to do something similar. Okay. So I'm happy with that little bird's eye view right now. And the view from up alongside the rail is also looking really good. So I think in terms of power, we could hook this into the national grid. There's a fire over there. Right, someone is burning down. As always. Okay, so maybe... How about a wind turbine here? Yeah, I think I do like the wind turbine in. I think it works quite nicely with this little theme we've got going on as well. Okay, yeah, so we'll definitely make a little wind farm. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely do that then. We'll build a wind farm to accompany the farm. I do want a metro stop in here as well, though, actually, so let's have a little look at where we want to factor that in. So we want an accompanying town to go with the farmland. And then, rather than taking up fertile land space, just in case we ever want to expand the farm into something a little bigger. Guessing kind of here. We've got the riverbank as well. We had also a really good comment last episode about bringing a stream through here. So if we started like a little river, like a little stream, that's going to sit on this mountain, then it flows down here. And then into the river. Because we can cut out these using some terraforming techniques. It's a fair way to go, but I think it'll look alright. Okay, anyway, let's get that metro station in. And then we can get them in there. Let's hook him up via this way. And then back in. Okay, and then we'll have to build... I don't think we'll build the town this episode. That'll probably be another one. We'll do some kind of riverside loveliness on here. In probably next episode, maybe. I don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead yet. Okay, so what do we want in front of the metro station here? I don't really want any plazas, because this is kind of like countryside vibes, you know? I don't really want any plazas out here. Maybe we just go for... couple of little park paths, and what we'll do is we'll generate some pedestrian crossings in here as well. Okay, and then maybe one more out the front. Then what we'll do is we'll bring this road down like this. And then we'll take these away. Draw them out up to the first path and then switch to a regular road. Of course we want one way. There we go. And then let's switch the direction. Okay, so that gives us the pedestrian crossings right near the path. That's wonderful. So then what we're going to do, we're going to bring these ones across like that. And we'll grab ourselves a main road. First of all, let's go ahead and set up the metro line, because I want to see trains running back and to from this thing. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Nice look, isn't it? Might change the colour of the train. But yeah, seeing it flow through the crop fields, that's the look I wanted. It is. So now I want to focus on bringing the highway into this thing. So we'll bring out our two highway roads. Let's go from there. And then we can come down here. Okay, so I need to kind of bear in mind where these are going. I think at this point in time, it's now a good point to begin curving this highway down towards the downtown, which obviously we are a little ways away yet, but you can imagine how this will now turn into a bridge and flow across the river and then enter the high density part over here. There's a little bit of, it's like a forest fire here or something? No, like scorched earth. But yeah, so you can picture how that's going to flow, and it'll probably hook over here at some point as well, I imagine. And then maybe bring it around the shoreline here and hook it back into here. Now there's a couple of different extension options we have, and I'm quite happy, they're almost on like different levels as well. One's slightly further raised, which I am happy with, I don't mind that. Okay, so now I want to bring a bridge over these two, I think, and we'll go for get 3 incline on the go, and then we'll pull it across, and we're pretty much symmetrical there, right? Yes, we are. Wonderful. And then I'm going to come down by, I think we'll go for 10. We'll do 10 each side. The terrain on this side, we are starting to slope ever so slightly, so we'll have to bear that in mind if we want to make this thing look presentable. Come up there and hook into the corner. So looking a little bit bare and basic at the minute, but we will be fine eventually, I promise. Then let's bring out a highway ramp. We're going to come... Are we a little too close here? Wonder how this would look. If we come on a little curve, and then come into the corner like that, we'll turn the traffic lights off. Now, bearing in mind, in the future, I think this part of the highway will have a heavy traffic ban. And that means we can extend the highway out of this corner and then hook it into here and allow all the heavy traffic to flow from this side. But for right now, it'll be okay. I think. I think we should be alright. We'll see. Okay, so we'll do the same thing this side again as well. Let's come out from here. I guess we'll just kind of mark like this and then switch back to my freeform. And we'll hook it in, and of course, make sure we change the direction. Obviously, this won't get any use at the minute because it's a dead end. But we'll do the same thing on this side as well. And these types of little interchanges, they're really fun to decorate as well. So we'll do some nice things towards the detailing time-lapse of the episode. Also go ahead and switch up here. Then to that corner. And then the same thing again on this side. Particularly too bothered about the symmetry with these. I think I'm kind of happy with it. Look a little bit off. It's not out of laziness, I can assure you. It's just out of you know, if you look at Google Maps, there are very kind of few symmetrical things in the world. A lot of things aren't symmetrical. Okay, so we've got some very janky terraforming going on here. The landscape is a little bit difficult to work with, so I think what we'll do is we'll find like a level surface, probably here, and just give ourselves a little bit of leeway, just so we've got something to work with. And then what we'll do is we'll terraform around that. So obviously now this riverbank looks super terraformed compared to the rest of it. So we'll come back with a softened terrain tool and just kind of help tidy up you know, a couple of these little harsher edges, kind of cut them away and dig them out at different points and make it look a little more natural. Now, but again, I think what we'll do here is we'll start running a little bit of a road along the river here, and this will probably hook down into there again. I'm thinking probably fishing industry is going to reside here. We'll probably do some fishing at this little corner of the river where it turns around. There's like a natural little bay here as well. I don't know if it's a bay, probably not a bay, but yeah, future episode stuff anyway, it's fine. Okay, so let's allow the game to play, and then we're going to hook up some industrial roads into the farmland, and we'll begin to start exporting our products, which will be wonderful, because right now there are not enough buyers, and we need to hit level 2. Let's have a little look at the requirements here. Yeah, so we have the capacity for 210 workers, we only need 150, and we have the demand for industry, so this will fill up as it goes. I feel like I need to find a place for the main building. Now, where do we want you? I think what we'll do is we'll do something a little cute and spicy. What we'll do is we're going to grab our little angle snapping tool here. I'm going to bring this across. A little bit like that. And let's grab the building. Pop it down here. These are actually a great detailing tip. If you're looking to kind of create a really rural suburb, use these as almost detailing, you know? Because they're like perfect rural houses. It's a shame that there's no residential zonings that kind of look like this and are as big, you know? You know, you kind of need to dive into the world of mods to enjoy that. I think we'll also go for a touch of storage perhaps as well. Let's have a couple of silos up alongside the road here. So yeah, these will go a little bit crazy as they start to fill up, of course. You know, as with any industrial area. These rebalance the game, Paradox. Or Colossal Order, I suppose. If you are playing on PC and wondering, there is an industry rebalance mod which does solve this issue of, you know, backed up farmland, which is something that never happens in real life, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so these will fill up. I'm going to hang around, guys. I'm going to wait for this to hit level 2, and then we can get some of the flour mills in here, and then start to expand a little more of the industry around this little centre that we've got going on. I'll be right back. And fantastic news, everyone. We have hit level 2. We now have the flour mill, the bakery, the farmers' workers' barracks, the cattle shed, and a small barn, which is tremendously exciting news. So the bakery is a unique factory. And let's have a little look at that one real quick. So he wants meat products, crops, and flour. And of course, we're not producing flour yet because we are not using the flour mill. So let's go ahead and place that in first, and then we'll get the bakery in as well. The flour mill, it is unfortunately a polluted building. I'm not sure why. I don't think the production of flour was a ecologically damaging process. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is. So yeah, we'll work on getting this in somewhere. So it's a pretty big asset now. Let's have a little mooch at where we want. I think I'll have a lot of the farming polluted buildings up alongside the highway here. I think that's what we'll go for, away from the actual fertile land itself. And then we can draw out a system from here. So let's go with that idea. Let's grab ourselves a small industrial road one way. We'll snap to all the guidelines, and then we'll come out from here. Okay. Grab the flour mill. Not an industry area, of course. But what I'm kind of thinking for this industrial area as well is, like, I almost want it to be an extension of the campus. So like the campus has its own almost like agriculture program. Does that make sense? like where I live in the Lake District, there is a ton of like agricultural colleges. Just because of like the heritage of the area is so heavily kind of in farming, if that makes sense. Okay, so if we have the flour mill here, I think that's a nice kind of view from the highway as well. It is unfortunately polluted, which might ruin the look of the highway a little bit, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Okay, so drawing the road here, and we'll get a little flow system going. Okay, so here I have a little flow system right there, that's fine. Let's bring the industrial road out a touch more. Of course, this needs to be two-way. So we'll hook it in like that. Of course, let's make sure we turn off our traffic lights here as well. Interestingly, actually, we haven't had a look at the traffic graph yet, have we? We're at 94% still. Is there any kind of major hotspots that are developing? This is apparently backed up. I think it's just because it's a busy junction. Like, this traffic overlay isn't particularly reliable. Like, you know, it's saying that, you know, we've got bad traffic here. But, you know, do we though? It's fine. It's just a busy road, you know. But 92, 93, 94, it's bouncing back and two between them. So we'll just make sure we keep our eye on that and we're not kind of looking at any hot spots. It's always best to fix them before they become too much of a problem, you know. Okay, and then let's continue our little flow system here. So we'll break it off on this side. Let's bring the road up. And then do we want the bakery here? Alright, so we've got the bakery in now. So we are producing crops, that's fine. We will be producing flour once this guy gets powered. I think we'll actually add in our wind turbines in this space here. So for 1, 2, and 3. How are we looking here? This is a very different type of farm build I've ever done before. A lot of you guys would have watched the modern Farmland modular build. And this is very different from that. Okay. We need to finish the flow road for this one. We can't come behind, that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll come out a little further. Let's just switch the direction for right now. We will change it back in a minute. And then I think we'll bring it up to here. So the crops are going to arrive in this one-way system here. And then they can come down and then back into... Yeah, so they're going to take that one-way system back out and then they're going to head out on the right-hand side of the road. So that's fine. I'm happy with that. Need to make sure we don't kind of come too close to the edge of the campus here as well because we are only at level 1 at the moment. Which is fine. You know, we'll get the campus level 5 and we've got more room to expand out here. And then on this side as well. So the campus will be fine. Don't worry about that. We'll be okay. Okay, so he's getting crops. He will eventually receive flour as that is produced. And then we now need animal products. So let's go have a look at how we can produce that. I believe the cattle shed is currently the only way, right? We do have the small animal pasture, which will turn crops into animal product as well. I think we'll go for the cattle shed. And do we want to place this here? Just leave it into the one-way loop. Feels a little bit lazy just placing it there. Do like the look of the bakery from the highway as well. This is looking pretty nice, right? Interesting to see how much pressure it puts on this junction down here. Like we mentioned, the heavy traffic ban at one point. But this is a really nice, low-density little highway switch. It's super dangerous because they're like crossing over each other at like 80 miles an hour. But, you know, it's working. For now, anyway. I imagine we will upgrade this to some kind of roundabout or maybe like a little turnpike at some point. But, you know, we'll get to that. So we're kind of coming together a little bit here now. There's a lot of gaps to fill out with the detailing, isn't there? So what we'll do is we'll grab this road that comes out of the campus and we'll switch it to a regular about here and bring it down to there. And I think what we will do is we'll probably take these two outdoor study areas out from behind the police academy. Yeah, we don't want to come down there, do we? Can we come across on a bridge here? Yes, we can. How would that look, I wonder? And then we can hook this down to this part of town as well. Maybe even take it across the river into the downtown. Have a nice curved bridge. That might be a little too much, but we'll leave it there as a reminder that we want to do something with that. And then we'll also bring that one down to there. And then I think we'll use this as kind of the natural top of the campus. We've got some more room to squeeze some buildings in here as well. Bring that through a little further. We don't need this power line anymore. And then we'll grab that industrial road to hook up here. And then we'll also bring this one down as well. Go for that one. Okay. So you may think that the industrial traffic might now prefer to come down this road and force its way through the campus. And they won't do that, I don't think, because it's a much slower route for them. For them to use the highway is a lot faster for them to get out. So we won't have to worry about that. So we're making donuts now, or bread, whatever. So that's okay. Let's have a look at the industrial area again. Yeah, so we do need some more workspace now. So what I'll do is probably expand the fields in this kind of cell pattern that we've got going on. We'll do some more of that. Or maybe we should do some fruit fields now, actually. Get some fruit in here. Grab that dirt road. And we'll carry on expanding this pattern here. So kind of from... Come out by 82. And then we'll grab ourselves... I wonder if we actually kind of combine fruit and crops together. How does that look? I think it's a little strange, isn't it? To kind of... I think I would rather have the repeated texture of those crop fields in. So we'll stick with them. We will eventually have some fruit in here and stuff, but for right now, we're going to be fine. Oh yeah, we could even throw in some greenhouses down here as well. That actually change the texture of the field, you know? Because it turns it into a totally different asset, so... And we're just about on the edge of the fertile land here as well, so we'll have this one as corn. And then probably this one as well. And then what we'll do is we'll join a box around here. Let's delete that one. Down to this way. And that's there as well. And then we can take this one out. So that should give us the workspaces. Yeah, we're at 390. We need 350 for level 3. We'll take this level 3 today. And we'll come back and finish the farming industry like we did with the forest industry. So kind of we worked on this bit first, right? And then we came back and did this bit. So again, guys, I'm going to hang around, wait for this to bump up to level 3. And then we'll throw in a couple of the new assets and then we'll move into a detailing phase. We'll begin to flesh this thing out a little bit more. Super guys, so we've hit level 3. We now have a lemonade factory, a milking parlour, a medium crop field, and a medium fruit field. Probably won't place any of these down right now, but what we'll do is I'll just kind of show what we're going to do for some final adjustments here before we detail. Thrown in a couple of forest farming worker barracks, and these fit perfectly up alongside the road here. I've also added in an amusement park path without the decorations, and I think the little bit of red brick here works really nicely with the farmland. It's not something I've really used before, but I hope you agree. It's not bad. It's a bit of alright. And people are using it as well to get back into from the metro, which is nice. Pretty happy with that. And then I think, so what we'll do as well, we'll do some final detailing with some zoning. We'll get some little zonings here. And also plan a little bit of an expansion out for what's going to flow over here eventually. I'll probably turn this crossing into a bridge. It's a little too close to the station for it to stay like this, but you know, we'll work on that in a future episode when we come to design this part of the river. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll definitely return for another episode to the farmland, where we'll obviously bring it to level 5, and we'll continue expanding and working on some nice little ideas. But for right now, it is time to jump into a detailing time lapse. We're going to tidy up some of these areas here, add a little bit of forest in just to kind of as a natural border between the two. And we'll work on that stream on this episode as well when we do the riverside. Yeah, we'll definitely add that stream in and factor it into the town over there. But for right now, I'll be right back. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, a like below is always appreciated. Equally as much if you didn't enjoy it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. A very different type of farm build today, different to anything I've ever done before, but I think I am on board with it, and we'll definitely continue to customise this part of the map as the farmland grows and we take it up to level 5 and factor in some of those more advanced buildings and factories towards the river as well. But it's not a bad start, I don't think, and I hope you enjoyed it. But I'll leave it there, hang around for the rest of the outro Taj, and check out this place at night time. I'm sure it'll look really cool with the train coming through the fields during the night. That should be really sweet to see. I'll thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.